Bagus tak ya? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good morning to the respected our Prof Ejang, IR Dr. Megat Zohairi bin Megat Tajuddin from Public Works Department Malaysia, and thank you to the esteemed guests here live in Shah Alam and also live streaming through the YouTube. Okay. Before we start, let me introduce our Prof Ejang, IR Dr. Megat Zohairi bin Megat Tajuddin. Okay, IR Megat is the Director of Engineering, ICT, from IC Consultancy and Innovation Division, Electrical Engineering Branch from Public Works Department Malaysia, and he is also the Registrar from Board of Engineers Malaysia. Okay, a bit on his education. Okay. IR Megat is graduated from Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering from Johns Hopkins University, USA. He continued his study in Master of Science in Communication Technology from ULM University, Germany, and Doctor of Business Administration in 2015. With the thesis title of External Networking, Leadership Style and Innovation on Organizational Performance in Malaysian Construction Industry from University Technology Mara, Malaysia. So the title of the presentation for today is the Challenges and Opportunities in the IR 4.0 Era. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our honorable speakers for today. IR Megat, please welcome.
Boleh pakai mic ni ke? Boleh? Kita tutup ini . Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good evening, morning everyone. Used to give classes during the evening, so terbiasa panggil bagi introduction in the afternoon. Okay, thank you. Thank you again for the kind introduction. Bismillah, saya Megat Zohairi Megat Tajuddin. I am the Registrar of the Board of Engineers Malaysia, BEM, ataupun Lembaga Jurutera Malaysia. At the same time, I am also the Director of Engineering atau Pengarah Kejuruteraan in ICT in Jabatan Kerja Raya Malaysia Public Works Department. Just again, I think just now I've been introduced on my education background as well as my professional experience. Graduated in 1996, Electrical Computer Engineering at Johns Hopkins University in the US. Saya orang kampung asal pada Kuala Kangsar. Went to the US right after my SPM result. I've been called through Telegram. Telegram is like, not Telegram the app, Telegram is a letter with a short sentences sent to my kampung dekat Kuala Kangsar. You have been selected for a so-called the American Top University Program, ATU, short form then. You have to go to to KL for a 2 weeks in course. I went to Kuala Lumpur with about 20 or 30 of us being selected nationally. So that 2 weeks was actually a so-called BTN punya program, Biro Tata Negara. We have been have to go through certain courses about jati diri and so on. And the last day of that 2 weeks punya course, everyone of us was given a letter. You have to go to the US in 2 weeks time, prepare the necessary, and then ticket flight pun dah ada time tu. It was a very shocking punya news for me sebab tak pernah duduk asrama, datang pada kampung, tiba-tiba kena pergi US in 2 weeks time. In 1991, we were then sent to Indiana University for 1 year. Masa saya sampai ke US nak cakap English pun tak reti langsung. Dekat kampung mana kita cakap English dengan kawan-kawan. And then we had to go through a very intensive English pre-university program, and every single day kalau tak dapat top university kena balik Malaysia. Almost every single day we were like being brainwashed to make sure you perform really well. We had to set for an SAT examination. It's an examination to all Americans ataupun international student yang masuk universiti kena ambil that examination, SAT. And then there are minimum requirement for you to go to a top 25 university in the US. Every single day study malam, tangan yang bawa index card, hafal, all those English punya requirement. And Alhamdulillah, out of that 5 universities that I applied, I got accepted to 4 universities and 1 rejected. Cornell rejected me, and the other 4 accepted, and I chose Johns Hopkins University. And if you look into the ranking of the top university in the world, Johns Hopkins is number 10 in the world. Orang kampung yang tak pernah expect that. So the reason I'm telling you this is that regardless of your family background, regardless of your whatever background, how do you being brought up as an adult, there is always a potential in every one of you. If you said that if you want to be part of the top in the world, you can actually be that. You know, saya when I graduated, bila habis SPM from Clifford, sekolah menengah Clifford Kuala Kangsar, it was not in my mind that I wanted to go the top 10 universities in the world. So you could actually do that. Even now, you can actually do that. You can be a world class, a top in the world in whatever field or ambition or whatever vision that you want to be now or even after graduated from UiTM. Okay. And then right after that, being a scholar of JPA, I joined JKR, Jabatan Kerja Raya in 1997. And then I decided to further my master's at Ulm University, Germany. I received a scholarship from Siemens. Then it was actually Tun Mahathir, during his tenure as Prime Minister, he was invited to visit a Siemens factory in Germany, and one of the token or cendera hati from Siemens to our Prime Minister then was actually that scholarship. So I have been selected to receive that scholarship, and then I further my studies in Germany for 2 years at Ulm University under that scholarship. Then came back again, serve JKR, and a few years after that, I decided to do my PhD in business administration, specifically on innovation in the construction industry. Right, again, as I think just now during my session with the UiTM lecturers, when I did my PhD, I realized that I became a different person. The journey of doing PhD is totally different from now you doing your undergrad. If you have the opportunity, do your PhD, because it actually shaped you to becoming a different person in certain probably the way you think, the way you analyze certain things, and making you a better adult, better professional, going through that challenge and journey of doing PhD. Right after, then I graduated from UiTM, and then I decided that I wanted to get more challenge in my career. It has always been in my ambition is to work abroad, working abroad. Although masa dekat Germany, I was being offered to join Siemens, but government did not allow me to do that because of the scholarship. So I have to come back. And then I applied several international organizations, particularly in United Nations. And then alhamdulillah, I got accepted at United Nations University in Portugal in 2017 as the government fellow, also they call it expert fellow under electronic governance, which is the experience I did during my in JKR. So in United Nations University, I have to work together with several nationalities, different background, different experts. And it was another challenge and great experience, although it was only 1 year. Okay. Again, wala kang sah, tak tahu cakap English, pergi KL pun setahun lagi sekali 2 time tu. And I did not really then realize that I would be able to contribute into a global or into a world punya platform at United Nations. And then came back, joined JKR balik because of my contract with them, my obligation to the country and also what they have spent throughout my academic years. I was then appointed as registrar in 2020. So this is my 3rd year as registrar of Port Raman Engineers Malaysia. Okay, jangan mengantuk lagi ya. Yang mengantuk tu tahan sikit mula-mula ni. Okay. Then I have written several articles in New Straits Times. Kalau pergi New Straits atau Google NST Megat Zuhairi, you will see several articles about technology, about innovation. At the same time, I also have my own so-called column in New Straits Times on different perspective, not engineering, my relationship with my father, my relationship with my mother, about my experience being abroad, my relationship with my childhood friends, and also some perspective. This is my article about my relationship with my hearing impact sister, and then about some about life, just telling stories about what I've gone through throughout my 49 years being a human being in Malaysia. Okay, I've given talks to several in program bersama Pagi Malaysia, particularly in certain radios and so on. And just recently, one of my project with JKR received an award on the World Society of in Information, World WSIS, what is it? World Society in World saya tertinggal S apa? Information Society. My project received a champion award in ICT application on e-science at United Nations, ITU, International Telecommunication Union, United Nations. Competing with 90 other application or projects around the world. That was actually in Geneva, UN punya Dewan, about 4 times bigger than this one. Semua countries, representative from all countries in the world, and we received that award. Again, sekolah menengah Clifford, Kuala Kangsar, I did not expect to win an award in United Nations. Yeah. Okay. So again, you all have all the potential in you. This is that whether you want to release that or challenge yourself to become not just juara dunia, but juara negara, but you can actually become juara dunia. Okay. 10 slide ni akan mengantuk. Saya akan pergi cepat sikit. Okay. All of you engineering student, congratulations for choosing this profession. Congratulations sebab you chose, again, tepuk tangan sini. You chose a very challenging path. Okay. One challenge, chose a very challenging path. But it's really worth it. Whether it's really worth it or not, you are the one who decide. You are the one who really decide and make the path whether it is worth it or not. Okay. But before that, you all, once you become an engineer, then you are being governed by the Registration of Engineers Act 1967, REA 1967. Sebelum tu nak lupa, saya diminta untuk buat quiz lepas ni. Ada kelas yang quiz tu memberi markah dalam you punya kelas. So kena dengar yang 10 slide ni antara slide yang penting. Registration of Engineers Act 1967. Okay. Di mana semua ramai confused sebab Act kata akta ni untuk melindungi jurutera. Kena pasti jurutera ni selamat bila dilindungi oleh akta. Tapi sebenarnya Registration of Engineers Act bermatlamat untuk melindungi, we are protecting the public safety, health and welfare. And then people were saying, buat apa nak ada akta ni if you are not actually protecting the profession? Okay. Indirectly, by protecting the public safety, health and welfare, to make by making sure that those who actually doing engineering work is from someone who actually qualified, going through all the qualifications, makes an engineer a professional, a profession that has certain standing. Sama macam doktor, they have their own act, making sure that it is protecting the public punya safety. Sebab then what does the act says? Make sure doktor yang buat kerja medical are from those who are qualified only. Sama macam engineer, if you want to build a building, if you want to build want to build a car, if you want to build an electronic equipments to look into several aspects of engineering, it must be done by those who are qualified only. Siapa yang qualified? Yang belajar engineering from an organization or program yang diakreditasi oleh entity which is Board of Engineers Malaysia. Those yang belajar engineering from YouTube, TikTok, ataupun whatever classes that they went through, they does not means that you have the qualification of being an engineer. Okay. Contoh, there's one person who actually graduated from physics. Dia belajar sendiri from YouTube, then he understands certain element. He declare himself an engineer because he knows things. But the Act says no, you have to go through the qualified accredited program. Only then you can become an engineer. So then, does that protect engineer? Indirectly. Yes, silakan. Yes. And you can say that I am protecting the public health, safety, health and welfare. Yeah. Sama macam Batman, I'm protecting the Gotham City. So kita tengok Batman as someone as a super power, a hero. So if you say the same thing, I'm protecting the public welfare, health and safety, it's like we are Batman. Okay, so if you stand next to a doctor, behaves that you have a similar standing or higher standing than a doctor. Sebab doctor save a single person, or protect a single person that he's treating, but we engineers protecting the whole individual inside this building. Yeah? So lagi hebat pada doktor. So, sorry yang ada mak doktor ke parents doktor, hebat doktor, tapi we should think ourselves seorang yang hebat juga. Sebab saya jumpa ramai, tak tepuk tangan boleh untuk diri sendiri. Congratulations again. Sebab there are so many engineers who are so segan to tell they are engineers. My time dulu, my parents are so proud of me being engineer, kata anak saya engineer. Adik saya pun abang engineer. But right now it seems like we are not that proud. Kan? So kena beritahu balik, tambah beri semangat ni nak habis engineer, jadi engineer ni. I'm so proud of choosing this path and I want to become an engineer. Okay. So this regulation tells you that you are protecting, we are Batman. Yeah, kita semua ni Batman of Gotham City ataupun whatever field or environment that you are in. Okay. This is the formation of board representing of several people from different industry. We have a VC from we have one representative actually from UiTM, Prof. Zuhaina, who is actually the IEM punya secretary on site. We have representative CEO of TMB. We have several people who are from JKR and so on, who are actually looking into the whole aspect of engineering fraternity and the requirement of engineers to the development of Malaysia. Okay. Oh, kamera kat sini ya. Seorang dalam online tu tak nampak saya lah. Kalau saya berdiri, nampak juga ya. Okay. So these are all the function of boards, Board of Engineers Malaysia. So I will not go through one by one, but every aspect of engineering, we look into how we could actually improve the engineering as well as contributing to the country. This is all the committees that require, which I myself have to look into all that aspect. Again, okay. So I have to say this, section 7. Section 7 in the Act says that no person, so ini tak apa lagi, pergi next no person, a graduate engineer who is registered with the board may, subject to Section 8, take up employment which requires him to perform professional engineering services. Section 7.2 pun kata yang sama. Section 2AA, engineering technologies, those who graduated from Bachelor of Technology, to take up employment which requires him to perform professional engineering services. So nak perform, if you want to perform professional engineering services, you have to register as graduate engineer or as engineering technologies. Okay. So what does professional engineering services means? Kalau ikutkan senarai itu, anything related to engineering, termasuk management of engineering works. It is considered as professional engineering services. There's one person kata, oh, I'm in Petronas, I manage only projects. I do project management. I do not do engineering principle. But the Act says, if even though you manage of engineering works or projects, it is compulsory for you to register with the board. Okay. And what does engineering works means? All works which include any publicly or privately owned public utilities, building, machines, equipment, process, works or projects that requires application of engineering principle and data. Ada yang kerja dekat kilang di Penang or Kulim ke, I'm just doing a simple IC circuit. I don't think I'm not involved in construction industry. It's not necessary for me to register with the board. It covers every aspect of engineering. You must register with the Board of Engineers Malaysia. Okay. So apa jadi? So then once you register, then all the other 4 Akta, Factory and Machinery Act, UBBL, Uniform Building Bylaws, Street Drainage and Building Act, Electricity Regulation, the term engineer refers to board punya definition of engineers. Okay. Then what makes you qualify to become engineer? Then we have our EAC and ETAC, Engineering Accreditation Council and Engineering Technology Accreditation Council. These 2 entities bawah board, we accredit the program offered by universities. If you graduated from that accredited program, then automatically qualify you to register with the board. So UiTM program is accredited by EAC. So automatically you are qualified to register with us. Alhamdulillah, UiTM dah sign MOU dengan board under EBAC program. So you guys are automatically will be registered right after receive your Senate letter without having to wait for your convocation. So so if you graduated from UiTM or EAC accredited program, are you qualified to bekerja di luar negara? Yes, because we are the Washington Accord signatory. Ada 21 negara, if you want to work in Australia ke US ke apa, your degree is recognized. Okay. Washington Accord refers to engineering program. Sydney Accord refers to engineering technology program. Dublin Accord refers to diploma program. So Washington Accord, Sydney Accord, and Dublin Accord. Okay. Then saya nak terpaksa takut-takutkan sikit orang, kerana Malaysian likes to have certain element of paksaan and kena takut-takutkan baru nak buat something. However, being a professional, we are not supposed to tunggu orang kata nak saman, nak tangkap baru nak buat something. We must understand that it is what is right, what is wrong. In this case, if you do not register with the board and you work as engineer, it is wrong. Kalau didapati bersalah, then you could actually become kena fine RM50,000, imprisonment not exceeding 3 years. Bekerja, if you work as engineer, you do not register, we could actually either fine you ataupun tangkap you masuk jail for 3 years. I have at certain I've received reports and I have to make some police report on certain so-called people who declare themselves as engineer, but when we look into the qualification, he does not have that qualification. Then police are investigating this. There are so far about 17 cases of engineers who do not qualify as engineers working as engineer. Okay, this akta was since 1967, kita revise 2015, ramai yang tak rasa, tak nampak, tak kena tangkap pun. Betul, board do not want to penalize because most of those in the engineering field right now are all qualified. They are not registered sahaja. We only actually look into those who do not qualify first. But next year, we are revising our act. We have to do this. Sebab if you are not registered, you actually are not, you are illegally work as engineer. So it is compulsory for you to register with the board. Takut nanti next year, thank you so much. Next year, kita pergi ke kilang-kilang, pergi ke organisasi, terpaksa bawa Black Maria, bawa engineer semua masuk jail. Is this just not right thing to do? So beritahulah kawan-kawan. It's one implication is that even insurance company now realize this akta. If you work as engineer and if you subscribe to some insurance and then there are accident by doing work, and when insurance says that you are not registered with the board, you are illegally working with engineer, there are possibility that you may not be able to qualify to claim for insurance purposes. Ingatlah. Sorry, I have to takut-takutkan you all sebab kalau tak takut-takutkan orang tak pernah besok lusa lah baru register. Besok lusa sampai 10 tahun tak register. Bila nak buat professional engineer, tiba-tiba kena tunggu 3 tahun, nyesal tak register sekarang. Okay. So itu saja, itu je. Then there are these five types of registration. I have to skip this. And then right now we have 220,000 registered engineers with the board. I feel that probably there are about 80,000 who do not register with us. So probably 300,000 maybe in Malaysia. So what does that number means? Okay, with that numbers, the ratio of engineer per population is about 1 to 145. Maknanya dalam kawasan perumahan ke, from 150 jiran-jiran itu mesti ada seorang engineer. That is this right now. Every 150 population ada seorang engineer. As compared to other countries, Japan, Germany and so on, the numbers are even higher, 50 per 50 population and 1 engineer. So we need to achieve that. Sebab it has been proven that those countries become successful, become developed, become advanced in certain technology because of the engineers contributing to that, the success or the development of the country. So right now we want to achieve at least 1 to 100. Maybe if we would have as much as as many as what Japan has, then so be it lah. It's better for the country. Okay. Then ada nak skip ke? Nak continue yang ni. Then ada yang tanya what is the difference between engineering and engineering technology. I think UiTM has that program. Semua kat sini engineering, pure engineering ke ada bachelor of technology? Bachelor of engineering. So pure engineering. So tapi ramai tanya apa beza. Then this is the difference. One, engineers are all on the left hand side. You are focused on research, product design, and then slowly you have less knowledge on testing, commissioning, maintenance, and sales, and also field service. But engineering technologies, they have that expertise on that aspect, tapi less knowledge on design and so on. Cuma the problem is right now Malaysia punya industri banyak kat tengah-tengah. That is why when it comes to the market, employment punya market, the industry do not see the difference between engineering and engineering technologies. Okay. But the direction of the country, we want to have big segregation, that we have industry who actually do product development, we produce rather than just guna orang punya teknologi and so on. So then there will be a different market segment for pure engineering and Bachelor of Engineering Technologies punya graduates. Okay, what happened once you dah register as graduate engineer, then you have your career path. One is to become a professional engineer after 3 years. With that 3 years experience, if you fulfill certain criteria, then you can become a professional engineer that give you the title IR. Then right after that, if you want to be part of the construction industry and wants to open up your own business doing consultancy, then you have to become a professional engineer with practicing certificate that allows you to set up your own company and do a consultancy service and submit to local authority of your design for approval. Okay, so right, once you graduate, please put yourself a target or KPI. I want to become a professional engineer. That gives you a title IR. Okay, so kalau bila pergi kenduri nanti, kerja apa? Saya IR, nama apa? Saya IR Megat, saya IR Aminah ke IR Kamal ke apa? Sebab doktor-doktor bila pergi kenduri, nama siapa? Saya doktor. Doktor Aminah. Oh, doktor hospital mana? Then the continuation of question. Mak saya sakit ni boleh cerita sebagainya. So similarly to engineer, jangan risau. Nanti saya beritahu saya engineer, nanti dia suruh repair lampu rumah dia ke, suruh betulkan TV dan sebagainya. So it's actually an expectation of the public to the engineer. Baguslah. Bila sebut engineer, tahu. Dia ni mesti tahu macam-macam benda. So it's a good perception. Jangan takut to declare yourself as an engineer. Okay. So this is all the discipline that we have. Kita revise banyak kali. Over time, we will then introduce more sub-branch or new branches of the registration. Okay. Then saya nak cerita ni sikit lah. Nak berkongsi perasaan sedih dan kecewa. Ada siapa ke kat sini nama Syahrul Ashraf? Ada. Saya harap ada. Saya nak bawa Syahrul Ashraf ke pangkal jalan. It's in Twitter, TikTok. I think there are certain truth behind it. Cuma saya realise the new generation has different ways of expressing yourself. Betul lah? Betul. Dalam Twitter, TikTok, you have the freedom without being judged of what you say. But when it comes to face, you feel that the older generation is judging you for not saying things that satisfy it seems like we want to make sure you say things what is good, what we feel true. Okay. So number one, Syahrul kata engineering is a scam. The toughest course in the world, workload high, working in high pressure, underpaid, need standby 24/7, need to know everything A to Z. Okay, saya nak ambil dua dulu. The toughest course in the world. Do you guys agree? Okay, thank you. Do you need to know from A to Z? Okay. Tough can be very negative. Susahnya. Tough can be positive in the sense that if you graduated from a toughest course in the world, what makes you as a person? The toughest person lagi. The best person in the world kan? The toughest kan? Patutnya once you graduated, I am Batman dah. Betul tak? So thank you Syarul for highlighting that. It's the toughest course in the world. And then you know A to Z. You know everything. As an employer, kalau tanya what makes me as employer wants to employ you, I would like to quote Shahrul, it's the toughest course in the world and I know A to Z. So as an employer, kata dia tahu A to Z. He graduated from the toughest job in the world. So ambil lah dia compared to those who graduate from different speed yang tahu hanya specific or simplest or simple punya program. Once I graduated came back from the US, time tu it was employment rate is very low. I tak sempat balik pun university companies dah start call, datang ke US interview and so on, and I have selection of companies yang offer. It's not because I'm that good, it's just that the market time to need engineers. Then masa balik I feel that macam tak nak buat engineering lah time tu budak-budak masa zaman you all, we have no specific direction. Orang buat ni macam best. Then I applied to Hong Leong Bank, I applied to financial institution sebab rasa tak nak jadi engineer. Then the interviewer says that you are doing engineering, it's the waste of your knowledge doing something totally different. Then my answer is that in my engineering program, I learn complex mathematical punya ni. I learn different ways of solving problem. Physics is the most complex calculation in terms of mathematical point of view. Having that knowledge in financial institution, I have higher value compared those who graduated from finance ke accountancy. Then kata, you are right, I want to employ you. Then I got offer from Hong Leong Bank, all those institution. So again, A to Z, it's true. It's you know every aspect of facing challenge in real life, and it's the toughest job, toughest course in the world. So congratulations lah, pilih course ni again. Okay. Cuma it's not a scam. It's not a scam. It gives you, makes you a better person. So Syarul, tolong delete scam tu. It's not a scam. Maybe it's scam if you relate to that underpaid, which is true now. Tapi not just to engineers, doctors semua is underpaid. And Board of Engineers is working with semua manusia, pengajian tinggi, even with MIDA, with MITI, to make sure that you guys get the worth salary. In fact, if you want to become somebody else, not in engineering, what? Kalau engineer bagi you 1,800, if a company offers you 1,800 become engineer, jangan ambil. Kalau if you feel that working in a restaurant as a manager gives you 2,500, ambil that, because you apply that knowledge of engineering dalam that field. Khairul Aming, he's become successful because the way he thinks as in engineering punya ni, he produce a very sophisticated and attractive video punya content, and he knows the analytics behind TikTok ke, Twitter ke, Instagram to attract people and following him. So it's not a scam. You can actually choose different profession but apply that engineering knowledge that gives you the necessary and worth reward in terms of monetary ke, job satisfaction ke. There are people who accept 1,008 because he see the future. After 2 or 3 years, he will get 4,000 or 5,000 because that 3 years is the suffer or the challenge that he will go through to get that knowledge, so that later on he'll get 5,000 or 10,000 after 3 years. Okay. So don't look into on the first day you graduate, you dapat banyak mana. First I graduated, I got offered, that was 25 years ago, Maxis offered me 2,500, which is the highest time too. But then I feel that in Maxis, this job scope is just too niche. And then when JKR offered me to come back and work with the government, I got 1,500. I just accepted. because I see that after 3 years, I have this knowledge, then I'll be able to, my satisfaction, of course gaji satu, I suffered because dapat 1,500, nak keluar weekend pun tak, tengok TV je every day sebab tak ada duit nak keluar rumah. But then I realized that the satisfaction of contributing to building a sekolah, hospital, universities, then every time I go to these universities, kata I contributed to this development. And then of course, gaji, pangkat plays important role. It's not salah to go for pangkat because of course you have to again achieve your work-life balance, achieve your ambition and so on. Okay. So janganlah discourage adik-adik ke anak saudara ke from doing engineering because you think because you suffered 4 years in UiTM. Jangan ambil. Right now, being someone who are young, have the energy, still have the passion, tak ada commitment, this is the time for you to suffer. This is the time for you to go through the challenge. Sebab if you don't go through the challenge now, in the future, after 20 years, challenge comes, there are two paths you can choose. Either run away or you face that challenge. And tanya siapa yang successful, those who are successful are those who are facing the challenge, and because every challenge comes with opportunity. Kalau semua orang pilih jalan senang, then although there are opportunities, everyone is actually competing to that small opportunity. But those channel with challenge, the opportunity is so big that only those who has that survival skill will actually compete for that big cake or big opportunities in the future. So that's life, right? That's life. That's life. Challenge is something that you should face. Maybe some are not lucky, they do not got reward masa sekarang, maybe reward in different word, tapi most yang berusaha insya-Allah akan ada balasannya with your usaha. Okay. Then world competitive ranking, Malaysia is actually among the top. Kita pernah at number 26 in 2016 in terms of world competitive ranking. This one of the criteria is on the use of technology, digitalization, digital transformation, application of technology, advanced technology, and so on. Tapi when you look into the productivity ranking, we are quite low, number 48. Tadi kita number 26, number 16 in terms of technology, advancement, and so on. Tapi when it comes to productivity, we are very low. Sepatutnya technology will actually increase productivity, but in Malaysia's case, we are not. So one of the reasons is that most of us sees technology only or use technology only for our daily life, not during we doing work. Bila kat rumah nak guna apa semua, QR code lah apa semua orang you all guna. Media social, so when it comes to work, guna Excel is just to do table. But Excel has so many formulas that could actually automate your process. Calculation can be solved in 1 second, but you still want to do manual calculation and then transfer to the table in Excel. So we have all the technologies, but we need to apply so that our productivity could increase. Bila productivity increase, then what happens? Then you have bigger values, then barulah dapat gaji tinggi. The only reason employers would not pay you much because they do not increase their productivity. So help your employer to increase productivity, then you get better reward by your employer. Okay. Then again, when it comes to opportunities outside Malaysia, ramai kata nak pergi Jerman, nak pergi Japan, nak pergi US, pergi Europe, because you feel that the opportunities are there. But if you look into compared to ASEAN, the size of EU and ASEAN are quite similar. Population size, but we have 10 countries compared to European 27 countries. We share similar culture. Kalau kat Indonesia, we are serumpun and so on. Although different countries, the language totally different, but we share similar values, cultures. So we understand people more compared to outside ASEAN. So the opportunities are actually in the world World Bank predict that ASEAN will be the probably third or fourth economic superpower after China, US, or maybe India, and then ASEAN. So look opportunities beyond Malaysia, but nearer ASEAN. So we have better chance of grabbing the opportunities in that region. Pergi Indonesia, who's actually advancing quite well, Vietnam and so on. So don't see the opportunity mesti kat Malaysia je. Especially now when you don't have the commitment, when you still have the energy, masih lagi tak ada rindu anak lagi kat Malaysia, you still rindu boyfriend and girlfriend, just boleh call, maybe especially when there's a technology, video call and so on. So being abroad has no issue now. Yeah. Again, masa tadi beritahu, saya ada adik seorang cacat pendengaran. Bila saya kat US, she's quite close to me. Bayangkan saya call, masa time tak ada video call. Nak call, the only communication is through suara lah. Kan? So bila call, then macam mana dia nak lepaskan rindu daripada saya ke dengan dengar suara sebab dia tak dengar. So that's the challenge then. So sama juga, you all punya challenge may be different, which I may not understand. Kenapa you all marah-marah dalam Twitter, but I try to understand it into a different perspective lah. Okay. Siapa ambil kelas economics? Sorry, apa berapa minit? Siapa yang sampai pukul 12. Okay. So siapa ada ambil elective economics ni? Planning. Tahu ke supply and demand curve ni? Tahu. Okay. So apa supply punya curve beritahu? Bila price tinggi, lagi banyaklah orang nak supply. Manufacturing punya point of view, orang yang jual tu. Kalau supply price tinggi, ramailah orang jual benda tu sebab harga mahal. Dia punya price mahal. Okay? Supply punya perspektif. Demand punya perspektif, kalau harga rendah, ramailah orang nak beli. Betul tak? Betul tak? So dua benda yang kontrak. Seorang nak supply banyak bila time harga tinggi. Seorang nak beli banyak bila time harga rendah. So then the supply and demand curve kena digabungkan to find dipanggil price equilibrium. Yang kat mana cross tu, itulah price yang paling ideal. Okay. So what happen bila supply punya curve push? Yang ni. Apa jadi pada price? Menurun lah. Betul lah? P2 turun lah. Okay Okay. So jom kita tengok dalam konteks supply of engineers in Malaysia. Okay. Sekarang ni dekat Malaysia ada engineer yang betul-betul qualified dan berdaftar dengan board. Ada engineer yang qualified tapi tidak berdaftar. Ada yang engineer yang tak qualified dan of course tak boleh berdaftar. Sebab itu supply kita begini. Supply yang dipanggil superficial, supply yang tak betul. So ada manufacturer, employer kata saya boleh je ambil orang yang tak ada qualification become engineer, dia ada pengalaman. So electrical engineer may be able, seorang yang non-electrical engineer may be able to make sure lampu ni menyala without even going through your 4 years as electrical engineer punya program. Betul? Tapi does he knows that if the calculation of leakage, lampu menyala tapi will actually jeopardize the safety of the public. Kalau berlaku leakage, dan orang tu akan mati. Kalau tanya-tanya yang buat tu, dia tak tahu pun macam nak calculate leakage, nak calculate the size of cable supaya kalau there's certain overload of current, dan dalam dinding tu kabel boleh terbakar and terbakar the whole house. Tak ada. Kalau tahu pun mungkin tahu, tapi you learn all that. So that's why we make sure that walaupun lampu menyala, we also want to make sure that safety of the public is being protected. So kita remove kategori number 1 ni, So supaya kita punya, dan kalau boleh yang qualified tu register lah, supaya bila kita remove yang kat bawah ni, then curve kita akan tertolak ke sana. Then what happened to P? The price. Jadi P2, bila employer cari nak ambil dia engineer, tak boleh, illegal. Nak ambil orang physics degree jadi engineer, tak boleh, illegal. Nak ambil orang with diploma degree in different field, engineer, tak boleh, illegal. If everyone understands that, then supply will actually come from 220,000 tu je tadi. Bukan from 300,000, bukan 400,000 yang declare themselves engineer. So P2 will actually become higher than you all can get 3,000, 4,000 gaji. Okay. Dekat Johor, there are engineers who right after graduated from UTM, UTHM dapat gaji 4,500. Dekat Penang, 3,009 or 3,008 in manufacturing. So kenapa? Because that niche and that requirement of the industries really understand the supply comes from those who are highly qualified. Okay. Tadi saya cakap pasal supply kan? Apa jadi pada demand pula? Okay. Can we control demand? Yes, of course. Sebab right now, you all think that demand comes from only from companies yang engineering company. Tapi demand right now can come from yourself. Sebab most of teknologi sekarang, especially in IR 4.0, those who graduated, you all ni yang lebih tahu daripada saya, daripada siapa-siapa kat luar tu. There are many startup companies in Cyberjaya or many in yang government support giving you modal untuk start kerja and so on. Who are those fresh graduate from universities? They invented things and they developed. Then that demand is being created by yourself. Number one. And number two, again, demand, janganlah fikir demand. Kat Malaysia, demand can actually come from ASEAN and other international countries. Maybe orang akan marah, nanti kata akan brain drain and so on. I think most of us, Malaysian, especially those, how interesting it is working abroad, dapat kerja kat Paris ke, dapat kerja dekat Munich ke, Frankfurt ke, dekat Tokyo ke, at certain extent, you will feel that Malaysia is still the best. There are many aspects. Best about other families. I have a friend who works in Australia, in Sydney. He decided to come back to Malaysia. Kenapa? Dia gaji dah banyak ni. I thought he was actually joking. His reason is that susahnya nak pergi kedai mamak. Malam-malam tak tahu nak buat apa, duduk rumah. That's the only reason dia kata he seriously consider. Sebab although again the way he express it kedai mamak, tapi in actual fact he feels the Malaysian element is not there in Sydney. Okay. So pergilah ke Vietnam ke Indonesia ke, pergi dulu, ambil tak pengalaman, pergilah ke Jepun ke apa, then come back and contribute. Of course lah contribute, bukannya contribute for free. With that experience, employee will see you has higher value, dan definitely minta lah gaji at P2 tadi. Okay, demand dah besar. Okay. Dan bila what happen? Bila supply pun kita adjust, demand pun kita adjust, decrease supply, make sure orang yang betul je jadi supply, dan gaji jadi P3. Okay. Apa marah lah saya. Maybe you all realize masa isu utusan Malaysia highlight jurutera miskin. Jurutera miskin maybe you ada baca kata jurutera kat sini kat Malaysia miskin, and then I made a statement through a press release denying that jurutera tak semua miskin. Then I've been attacked in the social media, in my Facebook, my personal space. I have to shut down my Facebook for a while. Not because I'm not afraid of facing you all, takut juga sikit, tapi it has affecting my family. Sebab for Facebook is a personal account. I do not want to affect my family because of that. However, again, I am an engineer. I feel you for not getting enough money. We are doing something, but to a certain extent, we are Board of Engineers Malaysia also need you being in this industry, being in a fraternity, to sama-sama bring this profession into at the standing that we used to be at. Yeah. Risau juga bila dalam buat kenapa orang makin ramai tak nak jadi engineer ni. It's but every time orang komen dalam Twitter tu, ada masa tak boleh tidur, ada masa macam pagi besok pagi-pagi nak kena say something in the meeting and so on. So tapi janganlah kasar sangat dalam Twitter. Kadang-kadang saya dah tua ni rasa macam sakitnya rasa kan. So if you have ideas, express your ideas in a very, you can express your ideas in different ways, tapi sometimes when you express your ideas in more professional way, people tend to listen more. And your employer actually now is looking into your social media. Dan kalau dekat macam ni, marahnya sampai macam ni, nanti dia masuk dalam company saya ni, dia marahnya macam mana ni? Bos dah jadi takut. So they decided not to consider you. So hopefully you guys can be a bit more professional in the way you express yourself. Okay. Then saya nak share this compensation of employees. This report is from MOF. Masuk compensation employees ni, MOF, Kementerian Kewangan, measures how much employers spend to your gaji from the income, berapa persen they spend to your gaji, reward, bonus and so on. From that statistic beritahu, Malaysian companies spend 35.9% out of the GDP. Their calculation 35.9% in 2019. Ni semua institution, semua industri, bukan engineering saja. As compared to countries like Germany 53, 48 in UK, Korea 47, Australia 47, Singapore 39.9. So Malaysia at 35. Maknanya employer Malaysia kedekut. Kedekut ataupun they spend untuk beli kereta baru, banglo baru, and then letak employee number least priority. Maybe sebab at 35%. So jangan kata saya goyang kaki, dalam Facebook kata registrar board engineer ni goyang kaki, makan gaji buta, tak buat apa-apa. We are doing all this, expressing to many forum kenapa employer bagi 35% je, whereas the international standard at 50%. So there are, of course, banyak perkara perlu go through. Then talking to Maida, talking to MITI and so on, we dah start buka mata many government agencies to look into this aspect. Janganlah kata mesti set gaji minimum 3,500. Maybe you all get that maybe one day, tapi negara akan suffer. Negara akan start berhutang, industri akan start keluar. Sebab regardless of you punya terror ke tak terror, kena bayar 3,500. So it's not good to the environment. Okay, so we are looking to that. So hopefully if Malaysia started to increase, employers start to increase their compensation of employee jadi tinggi, then you see the benefits hopefully in the future. Okay. Minum sekejap. Dan kita dah masuk topik lain dah. Topik yang sepatutnya saya kena cakap hari ni. Sekejap introduction. Okay, saya akan ambil setengah jam lagi and then kita ada quiz Q&A. Semua pernah dengar ke Industrial Revolution IR 4.0? Pernah dengar? Tak, ada yang tak pernah? Tak pernah angkat tangan? Oh, semua pernah? Okay, bagus. So, masa tahu IR 4.0, masa sebelum tu tahu tak ada 3.0, 2.0, 1.0? Tiba-tiba 4 terus Saya pun bila ni tiba-tiba 4, sebelum ada 3, 4 terus. Jadi lompat jadi 2 pun tak apa lagi, terus 4. So kenapa? Number one. Okay, tapi sebelum tahu kenapa tu, then we'll see apa jadi pada IR 1.0. IR 4.0 dicetuskan was triggered by this one technology, which is mechanical engine atau steam engine. Masa time tu, everything was produced dekat dalam rumah. Kalau buat baju, jahit kat rumah. Nak buat kain pun kat rumah. Nak buat whatever produk pun buat kat belakang rumah. Then industry time tu. Then when mechanical, semua pakai tangan, strength, human strength. Then bila steam engine was invented, then there was a revolution happens in industry whereby products can produce by the help of machines, of mechanical engine. Benda-benda berat tu nak ketuk-ketuk benda tu, pijak kaki dia tiba-tiba pung buat kat sana. So that is one of the, and then with steam engine you could actually there's locomotive then being invented, then you could actually send products outside of your geographical area. Product tak rosak, you can and then you can actually sell product outside. So suddenly there is a revolution in industry that people started to produce outside dan buka bangsal or workshop di luar rumah. That is what the revolution. This change, the drastic change in the industry. Okay, so IR 1.0. Teknologi dia apa? Steam engine Steam engine, okay. Then in 1980s, then electricity was then introduced. What happened when electricity introduced? Then industry, again, there's revolution industry. Then you get mass production. Kalau dulu, to produce one product, that one person produced from A to Z. Now, when electricity was introduced, then production, this one person specialized buat satu benda and then pass to the next line. Then manufacturing becomes revolutionized when electricity been introduced. Okay. Then IR 3.0 in 1980s. Internet or a computer then were introduced. What happens? Certain process being automated. Tapi rutin lah. Tangan tu buat tu je. Buat kalau kereta dia pasang satu benda, itu je lah. There's no intelligence in that automation. Okay? Computer. There's a certain process being processed and calculated fast. Okay. Then IR 4.0. Tadi saya beritahu IR 1 tadi apa? Steam. IR 2? Electricity. IR 3? Computer. Computer, okay. Bila IR 4.0 tiba-tiba ada 9, masa time when it was introduced, there are 9 technology pillars. Tiba-tiba 9 technologies become so important, significant, it triggers IR 4.0. One of the reason is that because there's so many technologies, then people start, oh, that I'm related to IR 4.0. Kalau sebelum ni, the 1, 2 and 3 related to which industry? 1, 2 and 3. Kilang, manufacturing. Kilang. Tapi IR 4.0 affected everyone. Manufacturing, construction, even our daily life. Sebab semua orang rasa kat sini, you all semua pakai, ada IoT kat badan. Tengah cari lah. Jam, you all pakai jam ni ke? Apple Watch ke, benda Fitbit ke? Siapa yang pakai dan IoT you lah. Walaupun you ada smartphone maybe measure your movement, that's IoT which you letak dalam poket. To certain extent, yang buat operation letak pacemaker, they have an IoT dalam dia punya jantung. Okay, so does IR 4.0 affected manufacturing alone? Is affecting your daily life, affecting education, because right now we are learning online. Yang dekat online tu, you can actually listen to me without going physically here. So that's why tiba-tiba IR 4.0 becomes so big, because it's affecting everyone in the world. Kalau dulu 1, 2, 3 hanya affecting certain group of people, industry and manufacturing sahaja. Okay. Then kerajaan keluarkan dasar 4IR negara. We group it into 5 instead of 9 tadi, which is more relevant to Malaysia maybe. So ada artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, cloud computing and advanced material and technology. Okay. So this technology, especially in the context of IR 4.0 punya teknologi, there are 3 similar characteristic of all that technology. Number one, these technology are all mainly ICT based. It requires connectivity, it requires higher bandwidth, which right now it's available. That's why that technology becomes important now. And the hujung sana, it's cheaper. Dulu-dulu when we want to introduce new technology, it's always more expensive. Sekarang new technology are all cheaper than the previous one. Okay. But the most important part is yang tengah tu. Apa terpotong betul. Is that this technology will not function well, will not give benefit much to you unless you the one who decide what to use it through your creativity, what to do with it through your creativity, innovativeness. Contoh, drone. If you have a drone, bagi to a 12 years old kid, jadi apa kat dia? Jadi apa drone tu? Jadi apa? Jadi mainan, betul? Pergi padang, dia main tengok macam benda boleh main balik rumah. If you give to a creative, innovative photographer, what do you get from that drone? Nice angle, creative video. Okay? If you give that to a farmer, to a creative, innovative farmer, what do you get from that drone? Hantar baja, tangkap monyet, identify monyet dekat mana. Okay. Hantar racun, tak perlu bergantung kepada foreign worker untuk masuk ke tempat dalam-dalam yang takut jumpa benda putih ke apa sebagainya. Betul tak? Okay. If you give that to an architect or construction project manager, tak perlu panjat gayat-gayat. Saya sekarang dah bajet tinggi gayat. So just hantar, ambil gambar, then I'll detect the defect and then send to the contractor to get it. So again, nombor tengah ni. Bagi drone, if you do not have that creativity, innovativeness, drone is just a toy. Okay? IoT, if you give to a person, is just a box with circuit without any function. But if you give an IoT sensor to a creative, innovative punya person, he will put that sensor in the toilet. He will detect, he will be able to use that data of that sensor to warn the boss to that level, you have used this much of water this week as compared to the trend sebelum ni tak sebanyak ni. Then it will trigger maintenance. There's something wrong with this water punya plumbing. Then they realize there's a leakage. Does that save money? Of course. Sebab water is selalunya it's cheap, then we do not pay attention too much of it. Tapi when you calculate the bill monthly, you could actually save a lot and then contributing back to whatever reward or development of the country. Satu sekolah, dia punya bill 30,000, dia realize only after 6 months. Memang bill tak dapat ke sekolah, bill dapat pada kementerian saja, kementerian bayar je lah. Without knowing what actually happened. Okay. So again, as engineer, knowing technology, the way you think about understanding technology faster and easier, then what you need to do is just to include creativity and innovativeness sahaja lagi to be successful in this era. Okay. Of course, challenges-nya adalah nak suruh orang berubah. Semua orang tak nak berubah sebab apa? Because it creates uncertainty and it creates unfamiliarity. Uncertainty means apa? Risk. Unfamiliarity, rasa tak selesa nak pergi tempat baru ni, tak selesa nak buat benda baru ni. It's all about people who are not willing to change because that fear tu tadi. So and again, bila you all dah habis belajar, please do not say I'm done. Dah belajar the toughest course in the world, nak suruh belajar lagi, I'm done. It's the era does not say that you have to learn every single day. Dalam era 4.0, those who are actually learning are all those who will survive. Saya tunjuk gambar ni sebab kereta tu kereta Tesla. Saya dapat test drive Tesla with autonomous driving. Maknanya tak perlu pegang steering lah, tekan button pilot, autopilot tu, masuk dekat setir alam and he just drive tanpa pegang steering. The person yang next sebelah saya tu, sebelah kiri tu is a JKR punya driver. He sat next to me and dia senyap dia time tu, dia tak cakap apa. Dia kan dia takut sebab saya takut sebab betul ke selekor depan itu simpang. And then habis daripada test drive tersebut, masa balik ke JKR, dia kata, bos boleh tak lepas ni hantar saya ke kursus-kursus kompetensi yang lain. Cik, kenapa? Sebab lepas ni saya dah tak ada kerja dah. Driver dah tak ada kerja dah with this autonomous driver. Janganlah hantar saya pergi susun file dekat store. Saya kata, sekarang dekat store dah tak ada file dah. Tak boleh, saya tak boleh bagi susun file. Dia lagi termenung. So, ini dalam konteks yang simple lah. Tapi, again, if you do not continue learning, then you be similar. In fact, nak bagi suruh kerja dalam store pun tak ada kerja dah. Semuanya dah jadi digital. Okay. Of course tadi, toughest job in the world, toughest course in the world, knowing A to Z. Dan research mengatakan engineers make the perfect CEO. 24% best performing CEO have engineering degrees. Okay. Saya baru realise 2 minggu lepas, our previous chairman of Maybank was actually an electrical engineer in telecommunication. Tan Sri Zam Zairani. Maybank lah. Okay. So, kenapa? Because of these 3 elements. Analytical thinking, problem solving, and attention to detail. Kalau orang tu boleh solve problem, does that make him a best leader? Problem you solve. How do you solve the problem? By analysing it. Kenapa what does analytical thinking mean? Penting sebab when you analyse things, you reducing risk. You solve problem with minimal risk, and of course to do that, to do analytical thinking, you have to look into the detail of whatever you are trying to solve. So this, secara logik, with the 3 element, you are the best leader. Sebab itulah jangan duduk kat belakang, jangan pergi kat lab je, jangan pergi kat site. Bila suruh pergi dalam meeting, tak nak cakap lah. Lepas tu bila orang lain yang non-engineer cakap, saya nak cakap itu tadi. Tapi orang yang non-engineer tadi, yang dengar kita sembang-sembang bisik-bisik tu, dia ambil dia idea, dia cakap dalam meeting, then he gets a credit. Okay. So, tunjuklah pandai with the ilmu yang you all dapat. Tunjuk pandai bukan tunjuk sombong, tunjuk pandai because you actually know things. Okay. Okay. So, macam mana nak tunjuk pandai? Then you have to understand, you have to get these soft skills. Communication is very important skill. Communication to learn, first thing to learn or champion or being good in communication is that offerlah diri nak bercakap atas pentas walaupun rasa nak meletup dada dia. Offerlah diri nak tanya soalan orang kat stage walaupun nak tanya soalan tu macam nak meletup dada ni. Kan orang kat atas ni patut nak meletup dada, kita nak tanya soalan pun takutnya. So that's what I learned in JKR. Most JKR ada 24,000 employers, kalau kat EHQ ada 8,000. Bila menteri ke KP ke bagi talk in the big ni, bila tanya soalan, macam nak tanya, tapi kat belakang saya ni ramai gila engineer-engineer yang dah otai-otai ni, then he start judging my question ni, apa nak soalan ni pun nak tanya. And then started to, budak ni apa, tanya benda-benda yang boleh tanya dalam office, all those kepala ni, lalas tak jadi. Walaupun dah berpeluh-peluh, dah ada dah meletup, tapi soalan tak tanya pun. It's just waste of my resources, emotionally drained, lalas tak tanya. So then it's good that I have the same feeling with one of my colleague. Kata, I feel the same thing. Then we decided, lantaklah lepas ni, kita tanya je. Then we started to ask question dengan berdebar-debar. Bila suara pun boleh tahu berdebarnya. And then later on, it just become simpler over time. And then every time saya pergi meeting as junior engineer, pergi meeting kat Sabah ke dekat Sarawak, I said to my mind, ruginya kerajaan bayar RM500, RM1,000 flight pergi ke Sabah, pergi meeting, I just sit there and do not say anything. So I'll make myself, I must ask at least one question dalam meeting so that it will not waste of government's money going to the meeting without saying anything or without giving any opinion about things, which I am representing that field. Kenapa tak cakap anything? So said to you, I think you guys maybe have no problem in that. But of course, communication has certain skill. My experience when I was in the US, I have this one Singaporean friend who explained cerita pasal the success of Singapore, how good Singapore is, the direction of the country. And then she said that, Malaysia macam mana? And I was like, I know, but then it's so difficult for me to explain to you. And dia punya statement, if you cannot explain, it means you do not know. Walaupun you thought you know, tapi you cannot express it, for people, it just means you do not know. So, terus belajar, express your knowledge, express your feeling, express your opinion, so that over time, jangan risau, kalaupun saya the senior engineer sit ni kat belakang, and then one junior engineer will say things nampak macam bodoh, nampak macam nervous, what I tell myself, saya dulu pun macam tu. So I don't judge. I have gone through that. Okay. Yeah. So this skill penting. I would like to highlight that communication skill is very important. For those yang baru nak try communicate, of course it requires practice. Practice can be saya practice depan cermin. Kadang-kadang saya, kalau sampai sekarang ni pun, benda-benda yang presentation yang I first time wanted to present, I will get my 3 kids duduk kat depan, dengar abah nak cakap ni. They will just sit and then they will just gelak-gelak depannya. In fact, masa first time nak pergi Selamat Pagi Malaysia pun, dalam kereta ambil anak pada sekolah pun, saya suruh anak saya tanya soalan ni, tanya soalan, saya jawab dalam kereta. It's true. Kalau tanya Siti Nurhaliza pun, dia kata first time dia menyanyi atas, the first lagu is always the toughest song. Sebab bukan lagu tu susah nak nyanyi, it's just because of the nervousness first time on the stage, walaupun dah beratus-ratus kali atas stage. So it's normal lah, kita as a human being, especially us in a Asian culture, we are has certain stage fright. Okay jangan malu-malu Okay, berapa minit lagi? Okay, saya ambil lagi 5 minit Then this is the latest Global AI Index ranking. Malaysia nombor 44, Singapore nombor 3. Nampak ranking tu is ranking tak bagus. Then but the topic of my slide is opportunities. Sebab kenapa? Kenapa kita dapat nombor 44? Is Malaysia scored lowly for talent. Bila talent kurang dekat Malaysia, it's an opportunity for all of you who could be, if you choose to contribute in that field which is not many has expert in. So AI. Semua orang cakap pasal AI. AI is the thing now. Out of that 9 technology pillars, AI has the biggest, I think, has the biggest opportunity for all of you. Dalam kelas tak belajar pun, ambil lah extra kelas understanding AI. It has so a simple ChatGPT has transformed the world gila-gilanya. Even education system is being affected because of ChatGPT. If you look into a different negative perspective. But if you look into positive perspective, ChatGPT brings productivity, at least to me lah. Nak buat standards dalam English, saya tak best saya punya paragraph ni. ChatGPT, can you please check my grammar? Paste, kata, this sentence can be improved by doing this. Copy paste lah. But of course, janganlah copy paste untuk jawab soalan exam, semata-mata nak fikir. Guna ChatGPT to improve. Then once you dah dapat ChatGPT, then you kata, bagus ayat ini, next time I will use this term. Then baru you improve yourself. Saya punya ChatGPT ni masa saya hantar ke New York Times. Saya punya ChatGPT, saya punya classmate masa kat US dulu, dia terror English, kata, dia Malaysian. Ni boleh tak tolong betulkan grammar saya? Dia petang dia betulkan, dan saya hantar ke New York Times. So I get accepted by New York Times because of my ChatGPT, nama dia Oni. So this is how I perceive ChatGPT. So I message her, oh ni aku tak perlu kau dah sebab aku dah ada chat GPT. So even she gave that for free because he likes to do that. Yeah. So augmented reality is one of the technology. Siapa tahu Pokemon Go? Main ke Pokemon Go? Main kan? Do you know that is augmented reality? Ada yang tahu, ada yang tak tahu. It's actually augmented reality. So from Pokemon Go, it's actually a game to kids or to young boys and girls. Augmented reality can be so many things. Saya tunjuk ini je. Gambar kat bawah tu seorang mekanik yang baru start kerja hari ni. Bos dia suruh pergi buka enjin nak buat overhaul. One mechanic will not be able to do that unless he has maybe 10 or 15 years experience buat overhaul kereta. Augmented reality allows him to do that. Next, dia kata, dia ambil gambar dekat engine tu, augmented reality tu, next buka this yellow and pink punya ni. And then dia tunjuk, then next dia buka this screw. Next and next. So that's the how creativity and innovativeness of allows the technology becomes beneficial to all of us. Okay. Then augmented reality can be applied in so many ways. You know, kalau construction site boleh tahu apa jadi dekat site sebelum buat apa-apa kerja. And then of course in 3D printing, a house can be built in 24 hours with 3D printing. This 3D printing bukan buat model lah, an actual house. An actual house lah. So dalam gambar gitu, saya try, kami JKR with CIDB try, and we get that lah. Macam kek lapis yang kurang resipi tak cantik kan. Tapi once we get the right recipe, a house can be built in 24 hours as compared to 3 weeks. Kalau rumah banyak lagi, maybe 3 months. So 3 months, 3 weeks jadi 24 hours. It's a significant punya improvement, at least to the to our industry and the country. Okay. This is the solution which get me receiving the Champion Award in United Nations, is that we use AI to assist us in project management. The camera could actually detect whether at site how many manpower, machine, to the extent it will detect there are 3 excavators right now is working, the other 2 is idle, because in construction industry resources, manpower, machine and material are 3 important aspect that could actually affect the performance of the. Kalau tak cukup pekerja, then project definitely will delay. Kalau tak cukup machine, then project will be delayed, of course, and with material. So with that simple CCTV, we'll be able to trigger the project punya progress so that it will be delay, or maybe penalize the contractor or remind the contractor to do. So there are other element in this system which we include over time. Okay, this is another IoT solution where we include sensor. This is the collaboration with MRI, Microwave Research Institute from UiTM. With that radar, we detect speed and then hantar through the internet, and we get all the information of the traffic of that road. This one we installed one in Kuala Lumpur. Masa balik raya last Aidilfitri dekat Gua Musang, JKR terpaksa tutup jalan because of the construction of the highway. This IoT beritahu right now almost 10,000 cars has passed Kuala Lumpur. So orang dekat Gua Musang, oh no, dah 10,000 kereta dah sampai Gua Musang. So police will then stand by from that information. So tak adalah main assume tunggu orang komplain baru polis datang. We have all that trigger, that information trigger. At the same time, we realize that dekat SIG, there's one installation, most of the vehicle speed pukul 8 pagi, 7.30 pagi dekat SIG, because most of them pergi kerja, tapi it's too dangerous because kat depan tu ada sekolah. Then police started to stand by pukul 7 hingga pukul 8 je. The rest of the time tak payah fikir pun sebab it's very minimum. So this is another element of sensors that with IoT. Then there are all other technologies like, you know, self-healing materials. Do you know that kalau crack kat dinding boleh tutup sendiri in 7 days? Ada belajar ke self-healing material? dalam kereta-kereta yang advance, kalau kena accident crack ke, it will just expand and then tutup sendiri. So we're doing that using an algae, jumpa dekat batu cave. That algae boleh ditanam, diternak, and then you get that algae for free by just letak dalam certain environment. Then we use that algae mixed with cement, and then dinding crack tutup without to have to replaster and so on. Maybe gamat elemen kalau boleh kat luka, maybe if the research can explore that as well. So kita nak try apply dekat jalan supaya tak adalah JKR hari-hari kena maki jalan berlubang and so on. Just a bit of defend on JKR punya point of view. We know semua jalan berlubang tersebut, we know we need a few billion, tapi we get a certain percentage of that. Sebab itulah tak boleh nak repair. Okay. So again, board is part of the International Engineering Alliance, IEA, and also ASEAN. And last, just to clarify certain things, ramai tanya boleh jumpa saya. Oh, saya pergi hari tu pejabat you all dekat PJ. Oh, PJ is IEM. So saya BEM. So Board of Engineers Malaysia is a statutory body that regulates under the Registration of Engineers Act 1967. We are the regulator, government. However, and registration of the board again is mandatory. However, IEM is Institution of Engineers Malaysia. It's a society. Macam you punya association and so on lah. It's voluntary registration. And then orang kata, oh, TS tu under board juga. No, TS is actually technologies. It's actually when it was actually established to cater the non-engineering technologies punya segment. So M-board is actually to recognize technology and technologies and technicians which is non-engineering. Cuma M-board nampak kalau you engineer, automatically you are technologist juga. So it's being an engineer, you involved in technology, then that's why you are eligible to become a technologist as well. So registration with M-board is voluntary, it's not mandatory by the law. Okay. Last, of course, saya nak highlightkan, of course, bila kita nak tengok the direction of the country, we always look into the direction of our leaders lah. Saya realise that almost every year kita ada Prime Minister yang baru. 2019, Tun Dr. Mahathir beritahu the success of our country is due to the technical professions, engineers. 2023, Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin beritahu, he specifically mentioned that we need more leaders among engineers, among technical profession. Sebab because of that tadi, kesarjanaan ilmu, menutup kesarjanaan ilmu dan kepakaran yang mendalam. Saya nak take kredit sikit, kedua ucapan 2019-2020 tu ditulis oleh saya. So PM bacakan. So alhamdulillah dia tak edit sangat. So the first one yang Tun tu, it was my first speech pada Tun. He is famous of not accepting orang punya speech. Bila hantar tu, bila nak record tu punya berdebar sebab takut nanti dia tanya siapa yang buat ucapan ni. Lepas tu pergi and then dia kata okay dah ready, Tun tak nak buat edit ke, tak perlu. Dan dia baca the whole speech and then bila keluar kata biar betul kan. There's only one paragraph yang terakhir je remove sebab dia rasa it requires, sebab paragraph terakhir tu dia beritahu Tun minta JPA untuk consider naikkan gaji jurutera. That was the last paragraph. I try myself to make sure dapat, dan Tun kata tak boleh lah, ini kena polisi nanti, so kena lebih study, so dia remove that last paragraph. So the whole speech Tun accepted it. Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin pun accept ni. Yang the last Ismail Sabri dan of course dua speech tu I contributed to it, but the group of us were doing it, so saya tak nak claim seorang. So hopefully this year the new Prime Minister will also have one more speech regarding it. Hopefully our PMX will say kerajaan akan menaikkan gaji jurutera. Kita sama-sama doa lah kan. Hopefully. Saya tak masa simpan lagi paragraf tu, saya cuba masukkan, hopefully tak di-reject oleh Perdana Menteri. Last, of course, every one of us, we have our own leaders. You define your own leaders. For me, there are two leaders in my life, which is my late mother and late father. Saya tak serik-serik lagi. Every time saya nak buang slide ni because I do not want to embarrass myself sebab rasa a bit emotional about it. But then of course I think that's what makes me I am right now, because my mom always said that never say die before you try. Bila buat something you tak tahu you punya potential, just try it. If you fail, then you at least you have tried. But again, even if you fail, does not mean that it's done. Because my father said, bila buat sesuatu tu buat bersungguh-sungguh. Sebab if you say that dah buat dah, fail. Tapi do you really do it passionately, bersungguh-sungguh? Then of course, try bersungguh-sungguh. Then only then you say, I've tried my best. Yeah, then move on. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much. Ada kita Q&A ke? Kalau ada soalan sebelum kita quiz, jangan risau sangat pasal quiz tu 3 minit je. Soalan, komen, pandangan, tak puas hati, semua boleh. Siapa yang tengah meletup dada tu tak bertanya je, rugi. Anything. Soalan? Ada soalan? Semua nak tunggu kuis, silap sampai kita ada kuis sila, boleh.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Okay, Doktor, soalan saya adalah berkenaan polisi. Okay, sebab betul, kita kalau nak moving forward, of course we have to know what is our current policy in Malaysia lah especially. Jadi in terms of maybe in terms of energy, maybe you can share a little bit, maybe in terms of IR 4.0 and as well as energy lah, because we are mereka ni from electrical engineering, so maybe they want to know ke mana mereka boleh maybe moving forward lah after they graduated after this.
Saya electrical engineer dekat JKR. Dekat JKR saya kena relate, senang jawab kalau relatekan dengan actual experience. Dekat JKR ada cawangan mechanical, cawangan electrical, civil, ukur bahan, 4 cawangan. Out of that 4, out of that 4, cawangan elektrik has always lead in the sense of any new technology, any new approach, innovation and so on. Okay. To a certain extent, kalau JKR tutup ni, cawangan elektrik tak boleh tutup ni. Sebab we champion in new things. So if electrical engineer is, especially IR 4.0 is always again relate to technology which related to ICT, electronics and so on. Again, sekarang orang cakap pasal ESG, sustainability and so on. Again, electrical engineer. It's the potential of career in electrical engineering degree holder is for me in the future is very big. Last time dengan TNB, yesterday actually TNB punya talk, dia punya technology roadmap was established in 2004. 2004 tak pernah ubah. At 2020 dia kata TNB mesti start look into IoT and smart meter and so on. At 2020 memang guna IoT and smart meter. In 2030 dah look into hydrogen and so on. Sebab sekarang 2025, 2023 orang cakap tentang hydrogen.
So the direction of electrical ni memang dah set and you can see the technology roadmap dia. Kalau tanya sorry kalau ada civil engineer kat sini, tanya orang civil engineer, kita orang buat piramid daripada dulu tak pernah rosak pun. Orang mesti pergi wonders of the world. So buat apa nak belajar lagi? Buat benda yang sama lah, tak pernah runtuh pun. So although betul, tapi the mindset of do not want to change tu is so strong. Tapi dalam electrical engineer, we used to and we taught to, the environment says that you have to change. So kita lebih senang lah nak adapt. So the future is, of course kena ikutlah the trend tu, AI, all those aspect lah, electronics and so on. Saya harap sama jawab soalan lah. Yeah, betul lah polisi. Kalau tengok polisi pun, dasar 4AI negara, rangka teknologi, rangka tindakan ekonomi digital, and all those ni, all about electronics, IT, telecommunication and so on. Okay. Soalan. Saya nak transfer saya punya quiz ni dalam WhatsApp macam mana? Nak play kan. Saya cabut dulu sekarang you all boleh baca saya punya WhatsApp pula. Boleh? Sekejap ya. Saya masuk sekejap. Kena log out
I have to log out.
ataupun saya masuk WhatsApp to you. Mana lah.
Sekejap tak apa.
Apa saya masuk sini. Okay. Scan.
Boleh cek.
Okay, untuk quiz ya saya akan guna quizzes, which is you akan login dalam quizzes. Kena letak nanti tu kena letak nama penuh sebab ada certain kelas tu wajib untuk buat quiz. Ada kelas yang tak wajib tapi yang buat juga quiz, letak nama penuh untuk tujuan record. The top 8, sorry, bukan top 10, saya salah bawa. The top 8 will get some souvenir from Board of Engineers Malaysia. Tak adalah hebat sangat souvenirnya. Cuma tapi the top student akan dapat A+ lah kot dalam kelas nanti kan. So sekejap Sekejap, sorry. PPICKE Gmail. Yes. Okay, semua dah biasa dengan quizzes ke tak biasa? Guna phone, pergi ke quiz.com. Okay, join game code tu 423283. Saya start dulu, sorry, baru boleh join kot. Sorry. Kantoi. Sorry. Ada 20 soalan je. Alah, sorry, tersilap. Kena masuk kod lain. sorry. Semula tapi nak masuk ni keluar 067 618. Make sure letak nama penuh. Sementara menunggu ni ada soalan daripada one of the students ni tadi, dan lecturers. Okay. Teknologi IoT secara tidak langsung membuatkan kita semua berada dalam online, menyebabkan secara tidak langsung kita terdedah kepada serangan cyber yang bukan sahaja kepada pengguna biasa tetapi juga kepada sistem tenaga, air dan lain dikawal menggunakan IoT. Bagaimana JKR atau kerajaan memastikan perkara ini tidak berlaku, terutamanya untuk kemudahan asas seperti air dan tenaga? This is very valid question. Kalau semua dengar minggu lepas kita punya Prime Minister announcekan kerajaan sedang mewujudkan rang undang-undang berkaitan dengan cyber security, di mana Malaysia mempunyai agensi dipanggil National Cyber Security Agency, dipanggil NACSA. So kalau dulu NACSA lebih duduk di belakang senyap-senyap, tapi NACSA nak diperkasakan supaya cyber security issue ni diambil kira. Cyber security dah menjadi kita panggil military agensi ketiga selepas askar. Polis, cyber security menjadi askar yang akan melindungi negara lah, sebab attack daripada cyber tak perlu tembak-tembak lagi, tak perlu bom lagi dah. Offkan sahaja bekalan elektrik, menyebabkan satu negara boleh paralyze. So negara melihat perkara tu, so kita nak memperkasakan NACSA supaya menjadi salah satu lagi benteng keselamatan negara lah. Dia boleh disablekan banking system, negara boleh terbengkap terus. So itu ancaman. So dalam konteks ni memang kerajaan melihat kepentingan tersebut, so rang undang-undang dipertingkatkan supaya salah satu contoh rang undang-undang tersebut adalah banking system perlu mematuhi syarat-syarat cyber security supaya dielak daripada serangan-serangan nasir-nasir luar yang untuk menghancurkan ataupun memparalyzekan, melumpuhkan banking system contohnya. Tadi TNB, bekalan air. Kalau dia letak IoT, dia riliskan certain chemical di dalam kita punya empangan pun dah cukup akan merosakkan ataupun boleh membahayakan kesihatan rakyat lah. So memang dah ada di dalam kita punya perancangan, dan dalam ucapan dia nak menyegerakan supaya rang undang-undang diluluskan supaya negara kita tak terancam lah oleh ancaman cyber security itu tadi. Okay. Ada 160 dalam ni, betul eh? Ada yang tak ada phone ke? Tak logik lah kan? Ada girlfriend simpan. Girlfriend bagi balik kesian dia. Jangan baca WhatsApp dia. Okay. Okay. So boleh kita mula ke? Setiap satu soalan ada 30 saat. 30 saat je. Jangan lama-lama sangat. So boleh kita mula Okay. 1, 2, 3. Saya bincang, kawan sebelah pun tak tahu. Yakin kat diri sendiri. Time's up. Okay. Okay, 114 ni. Okay, next question Ready Ramai tak jawab ni, saya ulang banyak kali tadi. Okay. Okay. Oh, ramai betul, okay. Sorry, ni saya tak sebut tadi kot. Salah tak apalah ini. Siapa tembak lu, tengok siapa tembak betul. Kalau engineer akan kira matematik kat situ. Takkan revise sebelum. Yang tak sempat jawab tu sebab apa? Yang tak sempat jawab tu sebab apa? Fikir lama sangat ke apa? Tak ada. Dekat 50 orang tak jawab ni. Okay. Accept Yang bukan, kecuali. Siapa akil ni? Soalan ni kecuali tau. So, okay. True false ni. True or false je. Okay. Oh, ada juga yang jawab ni true, okay. Again wajib berdaftar nak jadi engineer. Bukan untuk construction industry saja, apa saja industri. Next. Hang ke apa ni? Ha? Tekan end question Betul Tekan ni Yes, okay. Yeah. Oh, ramai salah. Technologies and Technician Act tak refers to engineering, hanya non-engineering technology sahaja. So the rest tu semua yang bila ada engineer that relates to Board of Engineers. Okay. Okay. Except ni, kecuali soalan dia. Again, engineer attention to detail. So soalan pun kena attention to detail. Okay. Soul Accord Soul Accord belum lagi. Hopefully kita akan sign untuk Soul Accord nanti. Okay, next. Again, kecuali except. Potong balik. Okay. Yang PCE lah untuk level lagi satu daripada professional. Dia panggil Professional Engineer Practicing Certificate. So untuk PE memadai ni. So inilah jawapan accept tadi kecuali Okay. Okay. 10 Yang 27 tu EU. Okay. Okay. Yang bicycle ni saja kot, saja tak nak menang ni. Okay. Next question. Second industrial revolution Okay. Okay. Electricity okay. Next question. Okay. Okay, ada yang jawab roket je. Sengaja tak nak menang ni. Okay, TV pun ada. Klik next. Accept ni, kecuali. Kecuali. Almost. Okay. Kecuali drone saya bagi contoh tapi bukan it's just a technology bukan dia specifically untuk tu Okay. Okay. Ada 6 lagi soalan. Senyap tiba-tiba. Panjang soalan dia. Dah potong. Okay, creativity, innovativeness the most significant aspect. Enam lagi soalan. Okay. ChatGPT is AI punya element Virtual reality, different technology, part of AI tapi bukan AI. Okay. Questions. Okay, kerja tak puas. Okay. Betul? Intelligent analyze tu adalah AI, bukan menceritakan augmented reality Okay. Special. Okay. Attention to detail salah satu yang penting Okay. 3 lagi soalan, 3 soalan terakhir untuk yang lain nak kejar leaderboard kita. Okay, international. Sorry, ini salah je. International Engineering Alliance itulah. So kita bagi markah bonus sesiapa yang salah ni. Tapi tak tahu nak bagi macam mana pun. Okay, next lagi 2 last soalan. Wrong statement from the list below, typo. Allah. Sorry. Ada perbetulan dekat sini yang jawab IEM ni pun betul sebab dia voluntary. Tak apalah, nanti saya dalam analyse balik. Okay. So dua-dua yang jawapan MBOT ni pun betul. MBOT adalah voluntarily, IEM pun juga mandatory voluntarily ya. Okay. Last question. Lo tak tahu nak bagi soalan apa dah. Okay. Okay. Yes, cuma kalau list boleh dapat lah nanti. Kat mana nanti? You all tolong saya. Okay. Terpotong gini ya Muhammad, Adam dan juga Muhammad juga. Kita tanya kepada top ni, kita tengok. Okay, kat bawah ni ada. Okay, 58%. Okay, so tanya. Okay, so tanya kepada Muhammad Nazrul, 80%. Dan juga Muhammad Akil, Adam bin Syafi'i, Alif. Saya ada 8 je ni. Yang nombor 1 hingga nombor 8 dapat hadiah yang sama. Tapi boleh screenshot ini tunjuk pada ni. Boleh. Saya nak jemput 1 hingga 8 ni terus turun boleh? So, kita suturkan masa. Nazrul, Akil, Adam, Alif, Haris, Daniel, Fatimatun dan Nurul Madihah. Yang ringan ni macam ni lah. Ada 2 yang berat lagi faculty. Sila kita. Nanti gambar tu.
Saya takut yang mana? Adam. Alif. Muhammad Haris.
Online tu.
Oh, ada.
Daniel Arif.
Aisyah. Siapa dia? Ada ke? Alif. Muhammad Alif Aiman.
Seorang lagi, Muhammad Alif Aiman ada. Muhammad Alif. Ada. Muhammad Alif. Kalau balik. Oh, tak ada.
Ada.
Muhammad Alif. Muhammad Alif Aiman. Memang sorry, betul-betul saya bawa 10. Seorang lagi, Aiman Haziq. Saya bawa 10 je, minta maaf. Yang lain-lain tu dapat markah tinggi tu tahniah juga sebab kerana mendengar apa yang saya sampaikan. Tadi yang tertidur. Dengan itu saya ucapkan terima kasih pada semua yang sudi mendengar 2 jam. Walaupun saya risau akan ada yang tertidur. Saya harap selamat berjaya pada tuan-tuan semua. Teruskan, jangan putus asa. Putus asa harap tidak ada di dalam you all punya kamus. Kalau ada cabaran tu hadapinya. Kalau tak boleh laluinya, akhirnya minta bantuan daripada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala lah. Saya sudahi dengan wabillahi taufiq hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih. Save ke nanti ya. Nanti saya tengok nanti lah.
Okay, thank you so much for that very interesting talk from our IR Megat. Okay, so sekarang saya nak minta tolong yang kat tepi ni, tolong duduk kat tengah, penuhkan sebab kita nak ambil gambar. Boleh? Okay, macam tu. Tak payah gerak.
Email or payrolls. Okay, boleh bagi email ke? Oh, ada email ni. Oh, bukan, tak apa. Saya boleh save kan nanti kot bila saya login. Ya, ataupun saya print screen siap just in case. Print screen, saya masukkan dalam Word dulu just in case sorry, Word. Ada benda ke you nak kena cakap ke? Oh, okay. Tak apa cakap dulu.
Attendance.
Attendance, okay. Silakan.
Boleh. Okay. Mana? Ni. Okay, ini yang ditunggu-tunggu ya. Attendance. Siapa yang datang je? Siapa yang datang hari ni di sini? Jangan share dekat orang lain. Okay, jujur. Okay dah ya? Student. Attendance, especially EPO 666 ya. Thank you. Tak dapat. Takkan tak dapat. Dapat Besar dah ni. Boleh scan dah. Okay. Okay Saya nak tutup ni.
Sekejap ni.
Ha,
Kejap je just in case. Takut. Word. Takut hilang. Overview full report sini ada. Aduh. Sini ada. Risau tu tadi ada masalah. IR 4.0 quiz. Okay, saya save sini. Okay. Saya log out. Kat mana log out ni? Okay. Okay. Alright, thank you. Thank you semua. Okay, Assalamualaikum. Yeah.
Terima kasih banyak. Pointer. Terima kasih sangat-sangat. Dah boleh balik dah. Dah boleh balik dah.
Dia tu makan, tak nak makan.
Oh ya ke? Tak ada.
Makan tak
Tak ada. Tak ada bajet. Oh ya ke? Tak ada. Sekejap, mana ni?